Greetings. This photo was made in times when I made my first Oblivion playthrough. It's been a while, so... Here we go again. I haven't seen this menu in almost 7 years. Yeah, that's crazy. But still, let's begin our new 2024 Oblivion playthrough.
I was born 87 years ago.
The game greets us with a cutscene in which old Emperor of Tamriel, Uriel Septim VII, was telling us about Gates of Oblivion and about the danger they carry. After those cautions, we're shown how Imperial City looks like, and I really do like it so far. It doesn't look so touristic friendly as Vivek from Morrowind.
Probably one of the worst cities humanity have ever created. City where you get lost as fast as you step there. Welcome to the wonderful city of Vivek.
And look, now will be a transition, not worse than my beer review videos. Oh. Hi! So as that cutscene was over, I was going to choose a class, and at first I was thinking about recreating Guapo into Oblivion. And if you don't know who Guapo is, then check out my TES IV Morrowind Trilogy playthrough videos. But in the end of the day, I decided to create a Bosmer, a dirty Bosmer. You know, they are so sneaky, fast, archer-like monkeys, but with long ears. With a decision of making Bosmer, I slightly, rotated him, added some looks, and this is what we've got. First may look kinda unattractive, but he's a punk and doesn't give a shit about his looks. You know, he left his underground punk group way back in 90s and still looking for himself. In Oblivion. Yeah, that's right, he's a 40 years old divorced man, and so what? He's getting bored, but he doesn't want to say goodbye to his hair. So what? Who cares? He's a punk. And his name is Eugen, by the way, Yevgen. Let's leave it like that. Eugen, apparently, wasn't sitting in this prison cells alone. Next to him was sitting some jerk who was laughing from Eugen's hair. But as soon as he heard that someone is coming, he quickly shut his mouth. This is when I noticed Majesty Uriel Septim VII is coming. I was already prepared to beat all the shit out of this Septim who put me in jail. But then some guy in uniform said,
"Prisoner, get over by the window, now!"
Alright. At that moment I thought that it's over for Eugen, but then that geezer said,
You? I've seen you.
As soon as I was recognized, I thought that the time of Eugen's lost fame has finally come back. But then this Oda started telling me about his dreams, assassins, lost hairs, blades, Tamriel, Daedrus and other complicated shit. From which the only thing Eugen understood is that he is a chosen one and can finally leave the prison. Eugen, is not a dumb guy, so he quickly walked through the labyrinths with Uriel Septim and his guards, stabbing along the way some guys in red hoods, preparing some red meat, and finally getting some new loot. Everything was super fantastico until this junkies left me alone.
Don't try to follow us.
For my own fate. But again, Eugen is not a softie, he's a real punk after all, so he didn't have a hard time cleaning his way up to the exit. Until he got to the point where he met with Septim and his buddies once again, but not for too long. Because right after Septim gave Eugen an ancient amulet, saying that he is a chosen one and have to close Gates of Oblivion, Septim was killed by a guy in red hood. Maybe it was my fault, because a minute before that, one of Septim's guards said,
"Wait here with the Emperor, guard him with your life."
But it's just a game script, there's ain't no way I could have done something, isn't it? Anyway, after that crucial loss, one of Septim's guard told me about a guy called Joffrey, who may know something about an amulet and the last hair of Uriel Septim. Of course you can get to him very fast, in a blink of an eye, as it said, haha, but that's all for pussy players. Real hardcore punks like me and Eugen walk only by foot. As we moved our asses north, we got into a camp inhabited by folks with not the highest social level. Eugen was threatened, but got dry from this bro, penetrating even deeper into Bandit's lair.
Look how I outsmart local traps, playing like a flippy ninja.
Where are you?
Striking from the most unexpected corners.
Finally, I'm not killed by a random bug like in Morrowind. I can loot any enemy on my way, easily looting chests, not like in Morrowind, where you can open it depending on your luck, with 1 to 20% success.
Anyway, after some strategic movements, full of goat and food in my pockets, I made my way up to the city where Joffrey lives. Along the way I stumbled upon an interesting stone, which gave me an interesting weapon, which, well, disappeared not a long time after, but still, interesting spot to encounter, isn't it? I spent some more time walking past roof attacks, and somehow I managed to finally get to the place where unknown Joffrey lives. So Eugen entered the priory where our unknown was. Asked him some questions about Amulet of the Kings, on which he responded like, everything is alright, just chill out man, we're protected by a magical barrier, there's no worries about the Idris and Gates of Oblivion.
I'm not sure.
So basically what he did is that he told us what any smart-ass looking guy would tell, but what makes Joffrey really important for us is that he is one of the few who knows about Septimus Bastardo.
I am one of the few who know of his existence. One night Uriel called me into his private chambers. From time to time he would ask about the child's progress. Now it seems that this illegitimate son is the heir to the Septim throne, if he yet lives.
Anyway, Eugen wanted to find that Lascar so badly that Mr. Joffrey told him that our Bastardo lives in the city of Quatch.
How are you today?
Which is another 20 minutes from here. What can I do? Marching speed? Along the way, Eugen stumbled upon some more ability-given stones, wells, structures, whatever might. But his whole journey, Eugen had a bad feeling. Something deep in his heart was telling him that something's wrong. And once he encountered naked-ass Batman, Eugen had no doubts. Something wrong is going on. When he got into Quatch, he saw how guards were defending city from the Idris siege. Eugen helped those guys in arms, and as the words of thanks, army commander told Eugen that the entrance of the city is blocked by gates of Oblivion, and that they have to close those gates in case they want to get inside the city.
Damned Oblivion gate blocking the way.
Imperial army was a bit scared to enter inside those gates, so they decided to ask Eugen to go there and do the whole business. Fair enough. And the first thing he saw is how an armed dude was fighting against some demonic shit. Eugen, for sure, wanted to help him, but because of Eugen's not the best archery skills, armed dude dies. I mean, like, Eugen spent his entire life mosh pitting and playing on guitar, not with bows. Eugen penetrated even further into so-called Gates of Oblivion, and you can't even imagine how many flippin' hours I spent there, killing those demonic shitheads, venturing through that flippin' freaking labyrinth kind of citadel. But well, alright, let's calm down. Let's start from the beginning. As I was making my way through shit ton of small little bastardos, I stumbled upon Citadel, in which I happily entered with 2 legs, but from the very beginning I understood that it will be a hard one. Eugen was raped like an old harbor hooker during 2.5 hours. Not gonna lie, it was a harsh one. Those little bastardos didn't give a shit about Eugen's intellectual skills. Professional, non-casual / non-pussy player, aiming skills. Well, even though my traps were actually working few times, comparing those successful, smart-ass traps, moves / maneuvers to the hundreds of Eugen's deaths, that's at least not appropriate. I was walking through that citadel for more than an hour to get into a random tower where some guy sat.
Over here! Quickly!
At first I thought that I was just scammed, you know, roughly pranked. But then I saw some nipple-naked guy in cage, who told me that I have to find the sigil stones which apparently keeps Oblivion gates open. He was also telling me about some keeper keys that I have to hurry up and all that stuff. Crazy guy, I thought. But as I turned my back around, I saw some handsome young man with a Hollywood face telling me,
Your flesh is mine!
take a new haircut at first, and only then my flesh. Haircut and only then flesh. As I dealt with that keeper, I spent another hour of looking for sigil stone and how to close gates of Oblivion. I have literally explored the whole citadel, I even left it few times, but in the end of the day, as I found out later, this whole time there was a teleport which I apparently didn't see, which got me up in citadel where this flippin' freaking sigil stone was. And after clicking my mouse button on that stone, some shit started to happen. And yeah, it seems like Gates of Oblivion are finally closing. And after some time we're teleported back to Quatch, to our brave city defenders. It seemed like they didn't expect me to get back alive, but here I am and yeah, they're... You didn't expect me, but I'm here. And so, as there were no obstacles laying on our way, me and my boys went to the city itself, to Quatch. Yeah. There we quickly got rid of small bastardos that were left in Quatch, and we can finally get to the church where all the civilians, including Septim's last heir, were chilling. As I approached Septim's son, I told him that he is actually not a regular priest. He is actually...
You think the Emperor is my father? My father was a Joffrey. I'll come with you and hear what Joffrey has to say.
According to his face, he didn't really believe me at first. But after some time of thinking and realizing all the benefits he can get from being Septim's son, he officially declared that he is a legitimate heir of Uriel Septim.
I don't know. It's strange. I think you might actually be telling the truth.
Fair enough. So me and my new companion went towards adventures, back to the place where all no one lives. And once we got there, Eugene and Septim's bastardo were stopped by a peasant.
Help! You must help! They're killing everyone at Waynon Priory.
Pure flex. Anyway, Ono and Joffrey was slaughtering shitheads in red robes in a chapel nearby. And once I approached him to talk, that crunchy egghead told us that dudes in red robes have stolen an amulet of the king's. But there are also good news, we have found at least last heir, isn't it? Isn't that good? And since we have, we gotta escort him to a safe place, which is located somewhere deep in the mountains. Far away from civilization, and as a bonus, it's guarded by an imperial security organization called Blades. Yeah, you got it right. This is where our all-loved Senor Cosades worked. Since that place was located somewhere deep in the butt cheeks of Cosades,
A pleasure to meet you.
I was given a horse of that priest, body of whom I saw like a minute ago. But that's not the case. I have taken a horse, so me and my boys ventured upon the adventures.
Die, damn you! Oh, what's the matter? Is the baby gonna cry?
Pure flex. And so, on our way, I was convinced one more time that if Septim's son, last heir, Uriel, if he would have wanted to close that gate back in Quatch, he could have done it without putting any effort. Anyway, after some time we managed to get to our destination, were warmly welcomed by Blades.
Hail, Dragonborn! Hail!
Septim's heir was shouting loud speeches, everything was, super fantastical. But still, we're not done yet, and all-knowing Joffrey told me that I have to go to an imperial city and there find a guy called Baurus, who may know something about dudes in red robes. This time I was a bit too lazy to ride a horse through the whole mountain range when I noticed. So I just used, no excuses, fast travel. Yeah, kinda casual you may say, but here we are in Bordello, speaking with Baurus.
Sit down. Don't say anything. Just do what I say.
He told me that there is some weirdo following him, so he asked me to start also following him, so it will be some sort of trap. When Baurus went into toilet room, I instantly noticed some other guy following him. And what about me? I also went to that toilet room. And once we got there, that freak quickly unzipped his fly and OMG, it was actually a guy in red robe. Eugen and Baurus got rid of him pretty fast. So Baurus told us about what he knows about Red Robe's E-boys. Those dudes were the ones who killed Emperor Uriel Septim Descent. They are part of some Daedric cult named Mythic Dawn. And since our fellow Baurus don't really know a lot about Daedric cults, he sent us to speak with Tarmina from Arcane University. And before we leave, he gave us a strange book, which he found in Red Robe dude's body. With a strange book in Eugen's hands, he got to the Arcane University.
What?
That beautiful creature explained Eugen that there is no much known about Daedric codes. On what Eugen responded that he has a strange book which he got from who the heck is calling me? On what he responded that he has a strange book which he got from a red robe junkie. That female reptile said that it's a very rare book which contains 4 volumes. It can help us discover secrets of Mythic Dawn, but unfortunately she's got only the 2nd volume of this book. So she sent us to the other part of Imperial City to speak with a guy called Fintias. The only volume he had was a 3rd one, and it just happened so that someone has already pre-ordered it. So me, in a bad mood, almost crying to be honest, I left that bookstore and saw a Bosmer passing by. At first I thought that there's no way that another dirty Bosmer is also hunting for the 3rd volume, but that long-eared monkey said that he is late for an appointment. So I had no other choice but dive into his pockets, right next to the city heart. And there, OMG, I found a letter in which so-called sponsor asked that Bosmer to get him 3rd volume. So after that, I followed the dirty spy to the bookstore and threatened to tell everyone here in town, in this hood.
I can't tell you how long I've been looking for this book. Greetings to you.
That he is working on those who killed, Emperor Tamriel Uriel Septim Descent. He was like, oh, I didn't know about it.
I mean, I knew they were a Daedric cult.
But eventually gave me the 3rd volume. And said that we can get the 4th volume on a meeting which he appointed with dudes from Mythic Dawn in sewerage.
It's so underground.
After that we went back to Baurus, who told us that once we get 4th volume we can find a location of Mythic Dawn's hidden shrine. So me and Baurus went to the sewerage, cleaning our path from rats and other local inhabitants along the way. We got to the so-called meeting room.
Alright, the room with the table is just through this door. I always wondered who put it there.
And since it said that only one person can appear on a meeting, Baurus went to speak with a red robe guy while I was sitting behind a wall, listening to their secret plans.
But then, suddenly, out of nowhere, I'd even say, other members of Mythic Dawn noticed me and what happens next?
Those who have never played in almost 20 years old Oblivion will discover in the next video. I have started making this video a day after I came from Poland.
Grudzień 19 German Orchestra.
And uploading it only now.
A gdzie możemy kupić piwko? Piwko.
So basically was making it for a year. In Poland, I've recorded some videos, but the only video you can see nowadays is Polish Beer Review 2024. Well, not bad. Anyway, I will upload rest of my videos from Poland once I finish making this Oblivion videos as it said. And knowing my script writing, voice acting, professional editing skills, it can take a while, but not too much.